Most people who believe in the need to fix human-caused climate change either overlook or dismiss a very feasible fix involving readily available technology. 1815 was the year of the most powerful volcanic eruption ever recorded. During that eruption of Mount Tambora in Indonesia, ash particles reached the stratosphere, where they reduced sunlight reaching the Earth's surface for several years. Aside from beautiful sunsets, the ash particles caused a massive cooling in the global climate. In fact, 1816 was known as the year without a summer, and temperatures are believed to have dropped by as much as 5.4 degrees Fahrenheit. These historical facts suggest a fix to today's human-caused climate change, namely the aerosol sunshade. The climate impact of volcanoes could be achieved by releasing aerosol particles into the atmosphere, perhaps from high-altitude balloons. The aerosol particles cause global cooling by blocking some of the incoming solar radiation. Here we see a blockage of 1 out of 12 rays, which would reduce the solar radiation by a twelfth, a much larger reduction than would be needed. Remarkably, only 1 kilogram of an aerosol released in the stratosphere would offset the warming effect of several 100,000 kilograms of atmospheric CO2. Reversing the climate impact of a year's worth of CO2 emissions might require about 50,000 balloon flights at a cost of perhaps several $billions. Nations might differ on turning the global thermostat up or down, or leaving it the hell alone. We live in a world where nations and organizations need no one's permission to turn the global thermostat up by emitting ever more CO2. We therefore also live in a world where they need no one's permission to turn the global thermostat down by aerosol spraying or other means. In fact, one U.S. company, Make Sunsets, has conducted stratospheric aerosol spraying with no need of anyone's approval. Their spraying has been to a small enough degree so as to show proof of concept. Were they to stop spraying, any aerosol particles they have put in the atmosphere would get rained out over a few years. Some scientists have advocated various types of space-based sunshades, two being shown here. A space-based sunshade is akin to putting sunglasses on the sun, but they have unknown feasibility, and they would not be ready to deploy for many years, if ever. Space-based sunshades would avoid many side effects of aerosol sunshades, but they could cost trillions of dollars. One estimate suggests that a sunshade that reduced the Earth's temperature by 2 degrees Fahrenheit would cost a prohibitive $5 to $10 trillion to manufacture and launch. The world's CO2 emissions driving human-caused climate change continue to increase with no end in sight. Some scientists oppose trying an aerosol sunshade because they think it would weaken the desire to reduce the world's CO2 emissions. But the sunshade is not a substitute for reducing CO2 emissions. Rather, it gives us the time to transition to a carbon-free economy before first reaching very large global temperature increases. Those who don't want to even try the global sunshade, possibly an easy fix to climate change, can't be serious about climate change being a threat to our very existence. Lady, if the sun is as hot as you say, stop your griping and move your damn chair into the shade under the beach umbrella.
3.